CBS 42 is your voice, your station. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is making changes to inspections at locks along the Tombigbee Waterway. This all comes 1 year after the Demopolis Lock was closed unexpectedly. CBS 42 investigative reporter Jen Cardone tells us how this could impact you.
On January 16th last year, the concrete failed at the Demopolis Lock. You can see from this picture that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers shared the school bus-sized pieces missing when all of this happened. Officials tell us it was the first time this ever happened, and now 1 year later, we're looking at what has changed to prevent it from happening again. This time last year, USAs from across the country rushed here to make emergency repairs.
I came in later that day. I was the first call.
Lee Turnipseed is the supervisor here.
The concrete miter seal was something that nobody could see coming. It was just a shock to all of us.
The emergency shutdown stopped traffic from going south and tripled the time to the Gulf unexpectedly for places like Parker Towing Company.
So far, everything they've done is working and we're back to normal operations.
Tim Parker III is the president and CEO of Parker Towing. He says this forced companies like his to diversify their routes.
What has changed, though, is there is a renewed emphasis on federal funding for infrastructure.
Chad Bromelo is a USA's navigation manager. He says the locks were only built to last 50 years, and this one is 70 years old.
For a routine closure, the longest you're going to see is about 30 days.
Bromelo says with Demopolis being closed 4 months unexpectedly, it makes it important to have more inspections than before.
We've really poured a lot of resources and a lot of funding into investigating locks with similar sills.
One of the main things that has changed since last year is these gates stay closed as long as there is no boat traffic coming through. Also, when it's cold out, you'll see the water level just a little bit higher here to protect the concrete.
I also do a more intensive weekly check.
Turnipseed says while the lock operator is moving a barge, he checks daily for cracks, wear, and grazing.
We're trying to stay on top of anything and to have more preventative maintenance to keep anything like this from happening in the future.
But what about the impact on consumers? We went straight to UA statistics professor Dr. James Cochran. Cochran says the impact this time was $1 to $2 million a month over 4 months.
That sounds like a lot of money, but when you spread it over a large population, it's really not a whole lot. So a lot of businesses probably sucked it up. But if it went on for much longer, or if it was much more costly, then at some point businesses would have no choice but to pass on the additional expenses to consumers.
But USACE wants to stop it before it happens.
We're confident that we're getting those inspections done in a timely manner and that we can catch this ahead of time.
Last summer, USACE closed Holt Lock for repairs after finding cracks and leaks in its infrastructure. Parker says it's back open but waiting for a permanent fix. And then in the fall, during a deep dive inspection at the Wilson Lock on the Tennessee River, USACE says it found significant cracks on the lock gates in the land and river sides, forcing it to close. Parker says that they've been using the auxiliary chamber to get around this. This is not expected to reopen now until June. Reporting in the studio, Jen Cardone, CBS 42 News.
If you have an issue you need addressed in your community that you can't get resolved, give us a call. You can call our CBS 42 Your Voice, Your Station hotline at 205-488-4128. You can also email us by sending an email to yourvoice@cbs42.com.